I am what's called an overthinker. What this means is that in any normal circumstance, I tend to think more than is necessarily required of me. And that's inhibited a lot of parts of my life. I originally didn't want to make a video like this because I hate bringing my personal life and the way I operate into my YouTube career or my TikTok stuff. I don't know if I'd call this a career, but it's still. I just don't like talking about myself too often in any capacity because I don't want people to think of me in that way. But I really wanted to upload a video of me just talking about my life and kind of going through how it's affected me in a way to see if I could help anybody or make anybody feel like they're not the only person that's going through it if they are going through something as similar as this. So this is going to be a super raw video. It's going to be minimal cuts. I'm probably not going to edit it all that much besides silence and music and gameplay and videos and stuff. But I think I'm going to keep it raw and just keep it rolling. So to start off, I should probably explain what overthinking in my case means. What that means is usually when something happens in my life, say for example a friend doesn't text me back, my mind always starts racing and thinking of the worst immediately. So I guess you could call that also a pessimistic mindset, but I like to say it's overthinking. Just the other day, my friend didn't reply to me after I told him something, and I saw him replying in another place, and I immediately began to think of the worst of it. I began to put together pieces like small nuances that only I noticed, these small things, like the way a person looks at you, the way that person his tone shifts. I start noticing things like that, and I start building a case almost in my mind, all coming back to the point of I'm not valued by this person. And while that may sound like a stretch and something extreme, it's actually something that a lot of people go through. And it's something that's affected me very, very heavily. So I think I want to start it off by kind of explaining where I think this comes from. In my life, I have looked towards people for the longest for connection, and that is because I am an only child. I don't have brothers, I don't have sisters, and I certainly didn't have any of my family in America where I live, because all of my family is from Pakistan. So I didn't have any cousins, any grandparents. While they did live around and travel and come over when I was a kid, it wasn't anything to which I could say that, my grandma and my grandpa's had a big hand in my life because they weren't around that much. So it was just me and my dad and my mom. And because of that, I didn't have a lot of connection, and I didn't know how to establish connection. I would overact, I would be extra, I would make a fool of myself, all in the pursuit of making friends. Because I just wanted to have connections. And I did that with a lot of things, with my childhood friends, with my school friends. I could be the butt of the joke and I'll laugh along as long as it means that I have friends. I have people that I could call my friends. But it wasn't until I grew up that I realized that these people are not my friends. They are just people who want to use me for what they can find gain in. Whether that be me listening to them, acting as a therapist, me giving them something, whether it be that I'm just the backup friend. As many of you all know, there's probably a backup friend that you have for when your actual friend isn't there, you like to talk to them in school. And I tended to be that backup friend, and it hurt when their actual friends were there. It was as if they didn't even see me. And I thought when I was in middle school that this would pass. When I grew up, it would be better. And it never became better. It was always like that. I was always a backup friend, and I was barely ever someone's true friend. And every time I felt like I was someone's friend, they always ended up leaving. So, to give you the context, the TLDR here is losing friends, not having friends, always being used by people I thought were my friends, caused me to begin to develop this overthinking of they hate you. You are not enough. There is something wrong with you. And that's because it's just natural. When so many people do the same thing to you, you begin to wonder, what if there is something wrong with me? And, no one likes thinking that, but how can you really avoid it? How do you avoid that inevitable thought of, maybe they're all right, and maybe I do deserve this? I'd like to say that it gets better, but as of right now, it doesn't feel like it is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not a very pessimistic person in terms of my life. There's so many people in the world that are ready to be friends and who are amazing people. And there's a lot of people in my life that are amazing and that do treat me amazingly. And to any of those people that are watching this video, shout out to you. You are awesome people, and you make me feel like I matter. But yeah, that's one aspect of being an overthinker. Another aspect is just that I don't feel like I am doing enough. I feel like I'm letting down the people around me. which is a horrible thought to think of. Being the only child, it all rides on me, you know? I gotta make something of myself. And I need to be the one to take my family, to higher skies, because that's what they want of me. They haven't expected anything of me, just to do well. And, I'm trying to do that as well. And this hobby of mine, entertaining, it's not really even voice acting anymore. I just like being an entertainment, a stream of entertainment for people, because I know that everybody has a bad day, and I know that just one laugh can make that entire day flip on its head. So doing that is something that I really like. But then I get these overthinking thoughts of, what if I'm not meant for this? What if I'm not doing enough? What if there's somebody out there who's doing more than me and they're not getting it? What's the point of doing more? And it starts to inhibit your progress, because it's like, if there's no point, if I'm never going to succeed, what's the point to keep going, I know it all comes down to, you need to be confident in yourself, you need to keep going, persistence, I know that, I know it, but knowing something does not stop that voice in your head to nag you. Just because the sun is sunny and it's hitting down on your skin and it's hot does not mean the sun is not going to stop being sunny. It's going to keep hitting down on you no matter what, even if you know that it hurts. Even if you know that your skin is going to gain acne and all this disgusting stuff, it's going to keep happening, right? And you might be wondering, why am I rambling about any of this? But I'm trying to keep this as raw as possible. I'm just trying to keep this like a diary entry. And this is the type of person I am. I just talk, and maybe I'll go from XYZ to ABC, and you don't know what I'm talking about, right now. But I'm doing that because I have all these thoughts. And this is another aspect of overthinking, actually. I have all these thoughts, and I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to convey them. And that's another thing. Now, when all of these things combine, what you get is a person whose entire life is dictated by these thoughts of what if. And that's kind of where I'm at. And it sucks. It really sucks, because half of the time you're just wrong. That person doesn't hate you, they love you. You are doing enough. You are going the extra mile. More people are not doing what you're doing. You are so talented. You can get those thoughts out. People are listening to you. You can speak at your own pace. You don't have to force yourself. You don't have to yell. But it's the what if. What if I'm wrong? That really hurts. And it's what dictates my life. And I wish it didn't, but it does. I've tried journaling. I've tried talking to people. I've tried many things of just gaining connection, but every single time it's the same result. It's the same result, especially on the people front. I'm not sure if there's ever going to be a person who's similar to me, because the type of person I am is I want to go 120% for my friends. I think a friendship is where you listen, a friendship is where you express, a friendship is where you take care of the person and you're there for them. That doesn't mean you need to talk to them every day, doesn't mean you need to hang with them every day, but it means that you're there when it matters, when it counts. And if you're not there when it counts, then what kind of friend are you? If your friendship is conditional, then who are you? There's so many conditional friends, there's so many of these backup friends that it becomes hard. It becomes super, super hard to just have hope, to not overthink, And it becomes hard. Yeah, that's just a small little thing that I wanted to talk about. And hopefully, somebody can relate to what I'm saying. And hopefully somebody realizes that they're not alone in this type of thing. And even if it's, even if this video only gets 50 views, 100 views, 200 views, I at least am happy knowing that I'm doing this for me. And I'm not doing this to impress anybody. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for anything. I'm doing this because I want to get my thoughts out there. And if there's at least one person that can watch this video and say, this guy gets me, that's all I ever wanted. Sorry if this isn't the type of content you were looking for, but it's the type of content I want to make. I just want to talk about things. Sometimes they'll be silly. Sometimes I'll laugh about it a lot. Sometimes it'll be voice acting, small comic stuff. And sometimes it'll be stuff like this. I want to keep it open. I want to do what I want to do. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, if you even stuck around this long, if I even decided to upload this. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully this isn't another one of those things that I'll overthink and never continue. And if you could relate to this, I'd really love to hear about it in the comments if you do watch it. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys.